What is up, everybody? This is Ice. I wanted to make a video for y'all to give an accurate representation of my first week riding a motorcycle. I know there are plenty of YouTube videos out there talking about what to expect. I feel like a lot of YouTube videos are extremely retrospective in nature, and I actually took all of these videos that you will see playing while I talk during my first week. This video that you are looking at right now is actually my first night riding. So I believe the first video is my first night, second video is the second day, third video is the third day. I think the fourth video is the fifth day, and the last video is actually my last day riding. And you'll notice in the last video that I have actually a red rider jacket. All the other jackets you will see in this video and the gloves are not actually motorcycle specific gear. So that is something I'll actually be commenting on. I also started riding my motorcycle in the dead of winter. So in all of these videos, the temperature is between 34 degrees and 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Nice and cold, but you know, we're hardcore. We are hardcore over here. I did get my motorcycle after taking the motorcycle safety foundation course. I took it about 3 weeks before this video you see here, and the motorcycle I was blessed to purchase was actually a 2019 Suzuki SB650 with ABS. I have not ridden it to a point where I would need to test how the ABS works, and I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. So it was definitely an experience. As you can tell in this video, one, the camera angle is a little rough. This is my first time really getting used to the GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 8. I don't even have the settings on it right at this point, and the bike is a little jerky. I believe the highest gear I got up to in the first 24 to 48 hours was about third gear. I just went to, you know, some back roads that had low speed limits and stuff like that, and just rode around safely. In the motorcycle safety course, my bike did not have any mirrors, or it did not have turn signals. So I also had to learn how to like slow down, put on the turn signals. Later, in about the third or fourth video, when I actually get on the street, it was the first time I actually hit fourth gear and fifth gear and sixth gear, and just getting used to, you know, adjusting the mirrors and actually seeing cars. It's very different having mirrors on a motorcycle. As you can see here, the mirrors are a lot lower and a lot shorter in proximity to your eyes than it is in a car. So that is very odd to get used to. But I struggled starting, because when you're actually on the street, as opposed to like doing the motorcycle safety course in a parking lot, you know, there's cars behind you and the adrenaline is kicking up. So I did do a lot of training in the safety course to control the clutch, but the throttle control was actually something I had an issue with. But by God's grace, if you're holding that clutch, you're not going anywhere, even if you do roll on the throttle. So I have worked tremendously on throttle control since then. But yeah, it's just a crazy feeling being on a motorcycle. The first couple days, I would say even the first week, I didn't really get to fully experience the joy and the freedom of being on the motorcycle, because I was worried primarily about safety, understanding the controls. Like I said, all of what you're seeing right now is a first for me. This is my first time on the main road. This is my first time going to fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. First time turning across traffic. So I wasn't scared, but I was a little nervous. But it's definitely just a different feeling. In the previous video you saw, I was riding at night, so this is also my first time really riding in the day. I could have easily taken this turn any other day after this, but because I was so nervous in turning and leaning the bike and stuff, and I wanted to really work on that, I waited for that extremely loud truck to pass. So it was overall just a really good experience. I learned a lot of things and experienced a lot of different things that, you know, I never really thought about. Like I said, it was cold, so my gloves were not cutting it at all. Most times the maximum time period I could ride at one time was about 30 minutes, and that is because my gloves would essentially render my hands completely useless after a while, because my hands would get numb. So 30 minutes like on the dot. If I was not at home, it was a little rough, especially when I started riding at speed. Here I just was working on some turning. You could see how my turns are a little shaky for sure. Even though in the motorcycle safety course you do a lot of low speed things, this is still within my first 24 hours of having this particular bike. Definitely didn't want to drop it, definitely was nervous. I wasn't supposed to be out on any main road for a couple days, that's what I told myself, but sure enough, the second day, boom, I'm gone. So I also, over the time I was riding, started to get a little bit more comfortable and started to just see how much power each gear did have in the SB650, and I noticed that the third gear can really pull, the fourth gear can really pull, fifth gear and sixth gear can just like, it's a very different feeling. It's almost like being on a bicycle, but the bicycle is pulling you. You roll that throttle down, and I think I may have only gone about half throttle, even at third gear, and the amount of acceleration I felt was instant in terms of what I have felt compared to any car I've been in, or anything like that. It was just an instant acceleration, and my core would tighten up immediately because it had to handle the jerk from, you know, being pulled by a bike. At that moment, it just made me laugh. I'm not gonna even lie. I was so excited. I was laughing like a little kid on the bike by myself on this random street at I think at that time it was like 11 p.m. That video is a little bit later down the line of this video. So just overall, I'm not like sitting on the motorcycle. I had been sitting on motorcycles in shops for over 9 months before I took the course and before I got this bike. And the moment I turned on the bike at the safety foundation course, instant smile. And I was actually going through a lot at this time. So motorcycling was actually the first time I was really able to just smile like my old self again. And that was really liberating for me. So I started riding my bike, riding my motorcycle during my lunch breaks at work. That is why you see it is daytime. And that would just be a great refresher for the day. Just really a great reminder that I'm blessed. Again, you'll see the different coats I had on. Again, these are all winter coats. None of them have padding or anything like that. So I didn't really want to ride too crazy. If you see how I take this turn, it's way better than the last video. And this is only a day or two later. So a lot more comfortable. I got so much better at riding the motorcycle each day. It was almost like an exponential increase. It was not a linear increase at all. At this point now, currently in my life, I am about to have had the bike for a month, and I'm getting to the point where I can actually just enjoy being on the bike and not worrying about things like the turn signal. I turn it on without thinking now. But in this video, the first week, I had to think about the turn signals each time. Sometimes I would forget to get all the way down to first gear, and so I would stall. Again, the adrenaline at the light. As you can see here, I was about to do a corner and I bailed, so I had to go on the sidewalk a little bit. So, which, you know, we're gonna say that the location I'm at is completely legal to be on the sidewalk. Anyway, overall, just a very beautiful experience, very liberating. It's very different than being in your car because you just feel exposed. If you look at someone in their eyes while you're on the bike, like, you better just have a lot of confidence, because I guarantee you, one, they'll look right back at you, and you just feel like out there on an island. But at the same time, people, even in their little small, I guess it's Chevy Sonics or whatever those really small cars are, or their huge diesel trucks, they want to race you if you're on a motorcycle. I don't know why. When I'm riding my other car, my sedan, they don't care. They want to race you if you're on a motorcycle. And I am slightly competitive, extremely competitive. So when people tried to race me, of course, I was like, you're not going to beat me today. But since I was just getting used to the motorcycle and stuff like that, I actually was not good at shifting quickly. So I had no idea how fast the motorcycle really was. I still don't fully know how fast it is because I have never maxed it out. I'm not sure if I've gone completely wide open throttle. For those who don't know what that is, if you look at my right hand, that's the throttle hand. I have not rolled that throttle completely down, or they say cracked it completely open, ever. I don't believe, because it accelerates so quickly, and the streets I ride on is just not going to make legal sense to be riding that fast and accelerating that fast. So it is also winter, so I want to be cognizant of that, and my tires warming up and not ending up on the ground having a messed up day, as many people like to say. So I thought I would be nervous to crash a lot of times, but I actually wasn't really nervous to crash. There were a couple close calls I had. I had known I wanted a motorcycle for about 2 or 3 years, so when I actually was biking on my bicycle around campus at college or riding my car, I did practice tremendously defensive driving skills and things of that nature to make sure I would be prepared when I had a motorcycle. I actually got hit by a car on my bicycle at college because I was just riding straight, kind of like I'm riding now, but it was actually more straight and more wide open, and a car just turned left into me. But by God's grace, I was able to get my feet up, and he just clipped my ankle. But that still kind of messed my ankle up a little bit. But that is why I didn't really have fear on a motorcycle as much, because I knew I had an idea of what to expect, and I did look at a lot of motorcycle accidents on YouTube and how to avoid them, to make sure that I wasn't looking at motorcycling with rosy glasses, but actually like prepared for the dangers that it has and that comes with it. The only times that I actually felt a little nervous was I had made one turn, and there was no cars around. I just made one turn. I went really wide, and I was maybe an inch away from the grass. And another time I was riding, and if you see this lane coming towards me, just pretend like there's all cars stacked up on that lane, and on the left side there was someone actually trying to make a left turn into my lane, but because all the cars were stacked up, I did not see the opening. And so I'm riding, and boom, this car comes out, and that could have been me messed up. But that was a good learning lesson, to just make sure that I identify all corners, look through people's front window shields and stuff like that, just to make sure that everything is clear for me, and really just creep through if there's a lot of cars. So you see me doing a U-turn here. I'm still working on those. Those are always fun. But by this point, this is again my 7th day, I was able to, as motorcycle riders call, just kind of flip the motorcycle left and right. For those who don't know, that just means like I'm leaning the motorcycle when I'm turning and stuff like that. You can see I move to the left and I'm leaning to the right. I'm just shifting. I'm just feeling good on the bike. One thing that I felt that I did not know I would feel is actually the fatigue. If you look at my knees here, they look like they're just on the tank, but I'm actually squeezing the tank. Squeezing the tank helps you not put as much force and as much weight on your wrist, which of course gives you more control and stability in your wrist, because you do not want to have a lot of weight on your wrist. You roll that throttle down and you accidentally let go of the clutch and you're done. And that's a great way to go head over heels, and you do not want that. So squeezing the tank, I would get off that bike and my legs would be very sore. My back would also be sore. You really want to make sure you contract your core. And even still, if you're doing that, if you're just getting used to the riding position, your back can be sore because you're moving a lot. It's not like a car where you have something behind you. Like, the only thing stabilizing you is your back and your core. This is the late night ride that I was telling you about. On this ride, I don't have it on video, but this was the fastest I was able to go, and this is the first time I got to kind of feel my motorcycle at highway speeds and actually open up the throttle or roll on the throttle a little more, give it more power. And man, that made me smile like a little kid. It was just really freeing and stuff. So with that said, that is all I have for y'all today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will have more videos coming out in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Share it if it's something you like or you think a friend would like it. And yeah, we're just gonna keep building the channel, and we're just gonna keep getting better and better as we go. So I will see y'all next video. Peace.